Hello, my name is Julio Diaz. Welcome to Guitar Memories. Today, I have the pleasure to introduce you my first female interview, a bass player, a photographer, Emily Mamone.
Hello. How's it going?
How's it going, Emily?
It's good. It's good to be here. Good to see you.
Good
Thank
to
you
see
for having
you
me
again.
on. Yeah, again.
Yeah. Well, Emily, can you talk a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. My name's Emily. I play in a band called the Wildlands. I'm a bass player and multi-instrumentalist. I play the keys sometimes and violin and viola, depending on songs. I am a mama and I'm a spouse to Frankie and a spouse to Mamone. And I am a corporate event photographer here in Dallas. And so if I'm not playing music, I'm out photographing our friends that are all out playing music. So it's really a fun thing. And it kind of has really kind of joined together nicely. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Emily, for accept this invitation to Guitar Memories. And well, for start, what is your first, the first met you have with the music? How you start to
Yeah.
play music, or
So my first kind of journey with music started when I was small. Part of my journey as a child is I lost my hearing from the ages of 4 to 5. And so part of my rehabilitation was on the piano. And so they used tones and stuff to kind of retrain me as I learned to speak correctly and stuff at that time. So my musical journey started there, and then also listening to my father, who was a very amazing classical guitarist. He had an old Aspen classical guitar. He would play for hours. We have it now. It doesn't play anymore, but what's cool about it is the fretboard is all worn down from hours and hours of playing. So as a child, I would sit there when I could hear, and I would listen to him play. And so that kind of developed my ear and my love for music. And so that's where it started. And then when I got to middle school, my mom asked me, hey, what instrument do you want to play? Since I was already musically inclined. And we had an old violin sitting in the house from 1878, so very old. And I can't believe to this day that she let me take that to middle school, because it's worth quite a bit of money now. I still have it, and I still play on our recordings. And it's very temperamental and beautiful. So I picked up the violin in middle school, and I played all the way through college. And so it actually took me from Colorado, where I lived at the time, down to University of North Texas music program in Denton. So, and that's kind of where my musical journey stopped for a while, because I don't know if anybody has been on that journey. When you have to pay all your bills and you're going to school full time, and then you got to practice 4 to 6 hours every night for your music logs, it was a lot. So I was like, I don't want to be a musician anymore. I'm going to put this on the shelf. I'm going to be a photographer instead. And so I traded that out. And so for 20 years, I got to photograph all over the world and do amazing things there, photographed amazing bands. And when I turned 40, I was like, I think I want to play music again. I've seen all these people do their passion, and I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something. And so I really kind of thought about it. I'm like, I don't really like playing the violin, which is funny. So I kind of was resentful towards the instrument a little bit. So I was like, I love rock and roll, and what do I love about rock and roll? I love a really great bass line. And so I'm like, the bass, I play the stand-up bass a little bit in my journeys to understand it. And so it's like, I'm gonna play the bass guitar, and I'm gonna play rock and roll, not classical.
oh wow,
And so that's my spouse, Don, bought me my first bass as a surprise on my birthday. And it was an acoustic Dean bass. And I love you, babe, but it was horrible. I wanted it was. I told him I wanted the acoustic so I didn't have to have the amp and everything so I could learn it, thinking I was approaching the guitar like a violin or a mandolin. And it was not the same experience. It was not rock and roll. So I was like, So I quickly researched, and then I bought this guy, my Yamaha BB 434. I use this on 90% of our gigs, and it's just a very solid instrument. The broad bass, I love it. So that's my musical journey up to now. And then I met the Wildlands, and they like what I did, and here I am. So yeah.
Wow, that's a really long journey.
A long journey, yeah.
Well, it's weird because, well, you started with piano
Yes. Yeah.
and violin and
Yes.
viola,
Yeah.
but that's the instruments had a spotlight, right?
Yes.
Why you decide to pick the bass because they are behind?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like to be in the front of attention while I'm playing, which is funny. So, but kind of being a female bassist, you're kind of up there of interest anyhow, which is funny. I've gotten that, but it's fun to hold down the groove with Pierre. I really enjoy that, and there's not a ton of pressure just to nail that solo. You know what I mean? I mean, you nail some solos when you're playing the bass and stuff, but it's just a totally different experience, and so I find myself enjoying it more. I enjoy playing in quartets when I played the violin because I was playing in an ensemble, and it was just a very easy... you played off of each other, and so in our 4-piece band now we play off of each other, and so it's fun just to hold down the groove and not have to worry about high-pitched solo moments, which I don't really like high-pitched instruments except the guitar. So I find my love, like a lot of my composing on the piano is very much rooted in bass notes, so I don't spend a lot of time on the right side of the keyboard, which is interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's rare because some guitarists switch with bass, right?
Yeah.
And some bassists switch with guitar,
Yeah.
right? But you have different techniques because the piano,
Yeah.
piano and viola, it's like this,
Yeah.
and switch, all that kind of techniques make you different point of views about the music.
Yeah. I would say, like, it's interesting because as I'm learning to take a step back from writing bass lines classically, if that makes sense, and do it more of a groove feel, which I had kind of a big swing with this band because I was approaching things more like more runs and more arpeggios and things in there, and I'm like, actually kind of, we want to get people bopping, we want to get people dancing and feeling the groove, and so the shift has been like that, I would say, in the last year and a half, which has been fun to see. I don't know. Did I answer that question very well? I don't know if I did.
No, it's okay.
So, I guess, writing bass lines are in my personal music. So if you go check out Emily Mamone Music, I have a website there, and I do a lot of film scoring type music, and like partnering with other musicians there. The stuff has more of a classical approach, and some of the tunes. You'll hear a lot more piano forward pieces there because I find if I'm composing a piece in my head, I sit and I work on the piano on it first. But lately I've been trying to like put a drum beat on that I like, and then I'll make the bass groove, and then we'll build the piano pieces on the top, and it's been fun to kind of reverse the order there. And the sound is completely different when I do it like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emily, about that. Well, did you took classes for bass?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
with teachers?
I did. I took some with a younger fellow, and we were laughing about this last time. Because of my classical training on the violin, I went into my first bass lessons and they were trying to teach me theory, and I'm like, I already know theory. I need you to teach me how to feel this instrument and how to get out and groove. Because I understand, like with time, you need to play all the different scales so you know how to build your parts. And so we're doing the major, minor pentatonic scales and all that stuff that we used to do on the piano and the violin. And so he was a very nice dude. We parted ways quite quickly after a few lessons. And then I worked with my friend Kevin Curtis Music. He's an awesome jazz player. You guys got to check him out. Kevin was awesome, and he understood that I had this background, and he helped me learn how to perform and how to go out and like work with different environments as a bass player. And so he was amazing with that. And playing, like, sometimes if you don't have a drummer, sometimes you're going to speed up and slow down and kind of ebb and flow with the player so it doesn't sound like anybody's messing up, that kind of stuff. So he was really awesome. And we just worked through. He was great. He's like, okay, let's just pick out songs you want to learn how to play. And then we just worked through them, and he basically taught me, like, okay, we're going to look at the root notes first, and then we're going to build on those root notes to get the sound that you want. So, cool. And then Bass Buzz on YouTube, I still go over there and I check that out. That was a big educational piece for me, so I recommend it.
Cool, Emily. Well, can you talk about your bass right now?
Yes. So, like we mentioned before, this is Yami. She's my main axe. She's a violin sunburst, BB434 broad bass. Very fat tone. So, as I was starting to discover basses, I liked like Sublime and those fat like tones that they were getting in grooves and stuff, and so I wanted to find that sound, and I did a bunch of research. It took me a long time, but I tried this guy out and nobody had it, so I ordered it through Sam Ash when Sam Ash was still here, and they were amazing. And then my friend Richard over at Butler Guitars, he's an amazing luthier, and so he set it up, and he actually set up my other bass I'll play for y'all here in a minute. So this is my main axe. My second bass, I don't play it as often, is my Schecter Omen 5-string. I find that I like the 4-string more because when I'm performing, I sing, and so it's a lot of, if you're used to playing on the 4-string all the time, when you go into the 5th string and you're trying to sing and all that stuff, it gets a little screwy. So I'm finding myself just staying here because I don't have to think about the extra string. So I don't know how you guitar players do it. And that's an active bass. So if I need something punchier, I play that. So on some of my recordings, you'll hear this bass more because it has more of a really rock and roll punch to it.
Yeah, in my experience, when I get 7-string guitar, I feel uncomfortable because, hey, what can I do with another string? And when I was in Colombia, I played bass on my band. Yeah, but I never tried to be interested to play with 5 strings.
Yeah. So you were on a 4-string the whole time?
Yeah. All the time. And I remember we had a gig, and the half of gig, I dropped the 4th string.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we were in the middle, I tuned a standard and keep playing. Yeah. But I remember.
Do you have a drop pedal? Did you drop your?
No.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yeah. What's really. I try to be comfortable with the instrument all the time, right? But my partner said, "Hey, why you don't get a 5-string bass?" And no, because I feel huge.
It is huge. This guy, I didn't look at. I looked my Omen 5. I looked it up, and it had great reviews, excuse me, but it did not tell me. I didn't think about how heavy it is, and it is a very heavy bass. And so part of the reason why I don't play it, other than the fifth string, is it is just after a couple, like sometimes we'll do, a full night gig, and so we have, 3 sets of 45 minutes, and that last set is getting really heavy. So we're like, okay, because I stand the whole time when I'm performing too, and so that gets a little tough on the shoulders and stuff. So, but it's cool, it's good for. I was thinking I was going to get rid of it, but then because I record with it for certain things, I'll keep it. I'll just have to buy another bass. So.
Well, I want to ask you, why a Yamaha? Not a Fender or a Gibson?
Yeah. So this is my backup keyboard, which is Casio, but all of my keyboards I have are Yamaha series. And so the brand is just super reliable. It's hardy, you can beat it up, and it's like this thing, like I've hit it on so much stuff, and it hasn't chipped yet. So I just like the brand a lot. And I was looking for entry level professional bass, and the BB 434s were there. I didn't have the money to spend, over $1,000. So this was coming under 700, and so I was like, okay, I can afford that. So. It's got such a great tone too, and I joked about it. I don't change the strings often. We've talked about that before. Bass players joke that we don't change our strings very often, and so one time I did, because my brother-in-law, who's an amazing guitarist as well, was like, Emily, you should really change your strings. And so I changed them, and I was like, oh my God, it's too crispy. I don't like the sound anymore. And so I had to really wear them in before the next gig. And so Ernie Ball, just bass strings. And sometimes on this guy, I'll put flat wounds on it. Oh. So it'll get more of a mellow tone, but with the active punch. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know Yamaha are a really good brand for all kind of instruments, and are not too expensive. Well, the classical guitars can be really, really expensive. Yeah, but my teacher on college, he used 2 Yamahas, and he said, I love Yamaha. I have Gibson, but he has he said Yamaha, it's really good quality, it's not really expensive guitars.
The electronics are exceptional.
And motorcycles too.
I was gonna say motorcycles and dirt bikes and all the things. They are awesome.
I had a motorcycle in Colombia, Yamaha.
Because the Yamaha. Okay, so your brand, you know the brand. It's consistent, and you know what you're getting when you pay for it. They're not that easy to find these days. So
over here, no.
Yeah.
But on Colombia, it's really, really easy to find. Because you go to the Yamaha store, and over there it's motorcycles, but they help you to get an instrument. It's on Medellin, they have a Yamaha, musical Yamaha, and it's a school for people for learn music.
That's awesome.
And play instruments.
Yeah, I love that. Even now, I love them even more.
Oh, the drums! They have drums. Too.
They have. I think all the wind instruments too. They have my nephew. He played the tenor saxophone. It was a great instrument that he had for a while. So, I'm a big fan of the brand. If you want to sponsor me, Yamaha, I'd be really thrilled.
Yeah, for sure, Yamaha.
Yeah,
please.
I need the next series up. This, and then I do use Fender amps. I love the Rumble 100 that I have. Gives you that nice Fender tone. So I'm not a complete Yamaha person. But I would say I've been really happy with my Fender Rumble 100. It goes with me all my gigs. has a nice owl at the back, so I can use it as a personal monitor if we're not doing in-ears, and it gives us a nice boomy tone to small, medium-sized venues. So I'm looking at the Fender Rumble 800, but that's a little overkill right now. So if I put it here, the whole building would just shake, but it would be fun. So.
Well, and what kind of pedals you use?
All right, so my rig is really simple because I'm a very just clean player for the Wildlands music. Our two guitarists, Brian and Dean, have a lot of distortion in their tones, and so I find that keeping my tone clean cuts the mix pretty well and adds my personality in there because I like that tone personally. So on my board, I obviously got my tuner because has stock tuners on a bass. Doesn't work. I think I have a small EQ pedal. I think I'm looking to upgrade that. I like to EQ depending on the room to help cut the mix a little bit. So it's a really important piece, especially with a very passive bass and a very mellow amp. You need to have that EQ to cut. Yeah. So it's very important. And I have a compression pedal, and then I have the big muff, because as a bass player, you need to have a green big muff. So I don't use that in our band that much. I was telling the guys, I'm like, we need to write a song where I can just rock that because it lives on my pedal board, but, and then I have a DI box. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can we listen your bass, please?
All right. So this is Yami. Is that going to be too loud, or is that too... Okay. So I'm going to play a couple little pieces of songs. This is from Outlaws. It is coming out in a month on our new EP, so you guys got to check it out, and it's very bass heavy. Dean actually wrote the bass line, and then I just kind of adjusted it to my playing. Dean's our lead guitarist. He's an amazing bass player as well. So, all right. That's the riff in there. If we're writing a new one right now. It's called Grit. It's not common for the bass player. We joke, the drummer and the bass players don't usually write a song first and then have the rest of the band come in. But this one, I'm like, guys, I got this bass line. I love it. I need you to write something. And so they they did it. So it was pretty cool. So I'm just going to play a little excerpt from it. So that's, yeah. Cool. And they're having fun. I'm like, Dean, I hear some wah pedal in this, and he just took it. I love it. I love where it's going. So guys, stay tuned to it. So yeah, those are just some grooves. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, I want to ask you about the technique, sure. Right? Well, we discussed about your multi-instrumentalist. Yes. Yeah. You play piano, and but it's really different techniques for your hands.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because piano, the viola, it's really hard, guys. If you try to play violin or violin. It's really hard. I
Your
quit
your
it.
bow is like
Yeah, I quit it. But you change for this position to this
Yeah.
position,
yeah.
and you play with fingers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you play? Why you decide to play like this?
There's a couple of reasons. So, finger style, I like the mellow tone that you get off of it. So, as I was kind of discovering, the instrument and my journey, I'm like, oh, these tones. I started looking at artists, and I'm like, oh, I really like, the tone that they're getting off of their, and this guy's doing finger style. I'm like, okay. And for me, also, muting, you got to mute. And so in finger style, I know you can mute with your palm, but for me, it's I find because we're doing a lot of grooves and percussive playing, I'm able to mute quickly with my fingers. And so that's number 2. And number 3 is I have arthritis in my thumb. Oh. So I'm old from photography, from years of photographing. My grip on my camera has created arthritis through those 3 joints. And so holding a pick for a long period of time is not ideal. Oh. So it's great because I just rest it right on my pickup and I'm like, I can just play here and I don't worry about my thumb. So now with that, I don't slap much because of the arthritis. So if we have a song that slaps, I'm like, Dean, I need you to come do it. He's really good at it. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Dean is awesome. I talk with him.
I'm very blessed to be with such a talented group. Everybody pretty much plays all the different instruments. So if I'm playing a song on the piano, Dean usually picks up the bass, and so we'll kind of switch out who's doing what. So.
Well, I want to ask you about the dynamic you have because all of you are composers.
Yes.
Yeah. How you get that dynamic to compose for just a one band and don't try to fight with egos or something like that.
Sure. I think we're not. I don't think I know, and I love this about our band is we don't have a lot of egos going on. We're very copacetic with each other, and so we share a similar energy, and so it's very, very rarely for us to like butt heads on something, and it usually has to be because somebody is really passionate about the way that sounded when they composed it. So I think one of my great joys and just learning too from my fellow players is hearing their perspectives. And so when they come in with a song, their journey up to that point has taught them that sound in their head, if that makes sense. And so it's fun to see it and witness as they let it come out and bloom. And so it's fun for me to see that and to like build my bass lines to help that sound, not to compete with it. So I would say like Dean and Brian probably write most of the instrumentals on the Wildlands. I'll come in with a few here and there. And then Pierre, like, he's really awesome about, like, hey, let's maybe pick it up or let's drop it into halftime here. And so it really kind of changes the groove of the song. And so I think we're all really good at communicating about that. So if we want more of a Americana kind of sound, Dean and his bloodline will bring that sound. And Brian comes in with 90s rock and really great bluesy licks as well. And I'm coming in kind of with a classical approach on some things, which kind of adds a good mix. So it's been fun, yeah. So Change is my song that I wrote. I sent it over to Brian. I composed it on the piano, and I sent it over to Brian, and within an hour, Brian sent it back with lyrics on it. Brian is our lead singer and our main lyricist, and so he wrote I didn't tell him anything about the song. I'm like, hey, do you like this? And he wrote lyrics to how I was feeling when I wrote the song. Mm-hmm. And so it was just a really cool connection there to have that moment. And then when we start we brought it to the band, and they're like, okay, let's add this kind of element, and it just was really fun to see it come to life.
Yeah, I love that song. It's in my playlist because, well, the very first time I listened to you guys, you create a lot atmospheres with voices, with all the instruments, and oh, that's awesome. It's something you can close your eyes and create images
Yes.
with your music. It's really great music.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
That is our goal. We want to put people into a place when they hear a song. So,
Well, can we switch the bass?
yes. All right. All right. This is the Schecter Ullman 5-string. Her name's Pearl. She has the pearl inlays. It's a really beautiful bass. And partly why I got it was I love black, obviously. And I was like, this is really pretty. And I like the sound it made, but it's very heavy. So I switched out the knobs and I put pearl inlay knobs on it, and, got to lean into it a little bit. So I'm going to play the tone clean, and then we're going to put the fuzz on it. Does that sound good? Okay. This is it, the Schecter. And this song I just wrote. So we'll see where it goes.
It's good.
Yeah. There we go. Dude. There you go.
Cool. Thank you so much.
She has, just, if we're doing a very nice tone normally, so it's kind of a little more bite on the backside of it, less soft, if that makes sense. Yeah. Do you want to play it?
No, no, you're good. Thank you so much. Well, Emily, I want to ask you because, well, you started to play bass at 40, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you are on Wildlands for a year and a half?
Year and a half, yeah.
Okay. Do you think start with music? Well, you have a process before, yeah, but you start create the band with 40, and some people think 40 are the people are old.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm 40 too. I'm 40.
They're like, you're too old to get started. Yeah, for sure.
You think never it's too late to create a band or create a project or create music?
I am of the feeling that you start whenever you're ready to start. And so if you're ready to start at 40, you're going to make it work. And it's been really cool because with the Wildlands, we're going up, and it's great. We're not plateauing. So our growth is just skyrocketing, and it's been really cool. We just went out to LA to the ASCAP Experience Conference, and we got really great responses to the music out there. And yeah, so start whenever you're ready. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah. I started this project with 39.
There you go. You had the feeling in you, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're like, I need to do this.
This is my way to create music and meet people and really interesting people. Yeah, and I said I never give up about my dreams, about my music, about keep feeling the music inside of me, and I try to share that with the world.
And you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, Emily, how you balance your life between the band, photographer, be a mama, be
Yeah.
a wife?
It is. It is because my spouse is amazing. Don, I love you. And I would not be able to do all the things that I can do now without that support there. Because having a kid, a daughter, like that's a lot of work and they have their things they like to do. And yes, I am picking her up from school and taking her to lesson and driving her home. And then Don and I high five at the door. And then I run off to rehearsal twice a week because we want attraction, and so we know that we got to put in the time right now to just do what we need to do to get going. And so it takes a very loving spouse, and Don bought me my first bass and wanted to see this journey for me, and I'm very thankful for that. And Frankie, she is my little rock. She is amazing. She is a little musician herself. She's a singer, and she plays drums really well. And so part of my vision for the future would be to play in her band. That would be so fun, wouldn't that? So don't set limits, like that. Just go for it. And so photography, the band is really great because we book gigs around everybody's availability. And so we're able to do that. And so photography, I go out for a week on big projects and come back and they've written a new song and I'm like, yeah, all right, I need to learn this. So, and I'm very, very fortunate with my job to have the flexibility there, being part owner of the business. Kind of allows me to pick and choose the jobs that I'm going on so I can spend time with family or go do gigs or whatnot. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Emily. Well, if the money is not a problem for you,
Yeah.
what kind of bass you will get?
A Lackland bass. That's a company out of Chicago that's American made, and I tried one of them for the first time at the famous Guitar Center in LA because I'd never seen one before. I'm like, what's this bass? I need to try this out. And I fell in love with it. Not its $4,000 price tag for a jazz bass. My next bass will probably be a jazz bass, just because I like the slender fast necks. But yeah, any of those would be amazing. I would get a P bass from them too, but I didn't try that out. I just tried the jazz bass. So Lackland, they're really kind of unique too. Yeah.
Well, Emily, I have road questions for you. And what is your favorite album?
Oh my gosh. We did this last time where my brain was like, ah. My favorite album, it depends on my mood. It's so hard because I really, really, really love Queens of the Stone Age. And I love heavy rock, and I love desert rock specifically. I love anything that they're involved, like Joshua Homme, if he's doing Eagles of Death Metal or them Crooked Vultures, I'm all about that. So I would say Songs for the Deaf. It's probably one of my favorites, but if I look back at time, I also love Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers because I just like the sound, like the Americana sound there. And anytime you play a Tom Petty song, everybody loves it. So gotta lean into that. So I could go on forever about different albums.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much, Emily. Well, and what album do you recommend for bass players?
Oh, man. Now, this depends on, we talked about this before, if you're picking or if you're fingerstyle, right? So I love Mike Dirnt from Green Day, picking style. If I could do picking, I would recommend Dookie or any of those albums all day long, right? So for me, I think for my tone that I love Jack Johnson quite a bit. Man, any of his albums, his bass player is amazing. He gets those fat tones that just drop you into a place where he's putting you in his journey of his songs. So you could pick any of those albums.
Thank you so much, Emily. Well, eh, what do you like to say this Emily on 4 or 5 years tried the therapy on the piano? What do you like to say for her?
I would say to young Emily to stop and feel the music more and not read the music more, if that makes sense. So in classical training, you're taught to read a certain way and play a certain way. You have this journey too. And so you aren't really encouraged to move and feel that much. You're kind of, and maybe there's different teachers out there, but in my experiences, I was taught to be very formal, and you wore your black dress and you had your hair in a bun and you played the violin and you moved a little bit, but you didn't move a lot. And so I think allowing yourself to feel the music and the emotion in the music instead of worrying about the technical, that would help you a lot to get you to a further place later in life. So, yeah, that similar kind of experience, right, in school. So young self, yeah, feel the music, and allow yourself to not worry about reading as much. And there you go. Hear it.
Thank you so much, Emily. Well, I forget. I glitch.
You glitch. See, it's communicable. I'm sorry.
Do you have some advice for a new bass players?
Sure.
Or, well, keyboards or viola players? I don't know who is watching the podcast right now, but I think we have different kind of advices for different musicians, but for a bass player.
I actually just recently got asked this question from a friend of mine who's getting her child into music. And first I recommend for young ones to start on the piano, because you're training your ear to hear every note. And I think it's a great place to start, and then it also helps vocally later as well, because you're hearing the different tones. And so like on a bass or the violin or guitars, like different placements have slightly different tuning if you don't hit it just right? And so on the piano, it's always consistent tuning, and so you're training your ear to hear the right note. And so I get complimented on my ear because I hear that training from 40 years of just like beating it into my head, the piano notes of so it works well on the violin, so I'm hearing proper pitch and stuff. So I recommend that kids and adults too start there and learn the notes, and then when you get to your instrument, allow yourself to feel the notes, right? Don't look at your hands the whole time. Allow yourself to hear that training you've had yourself there, and start hearing and feeling it, and learning scales. As much as it might pain somebody, those scales are important to teach you what keys. So, if my bandmates, it's like, hey, we're playing in F sharp, we need to know what that means and where to play the root notes and where to break the rules and make cool, groovy sounds. So learning your major, minor, pentatonic scales and stuff like that will help you develop your ear for a better future. And that way you don't have to read as much as just kind of feel it, and you'll know where to go. Does that make sense?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, Emily. Thank you. Well, where the people can contact you if for something for photography or your own music, because you have another project. It's Emily Mamone Music,
yes,
right? And I hear it. It's really cool too. and where the people can contact you.
Okay, you can find me at Emily Mamone Music. That's my personal brand. There's a lot of, they're all rough demos because I like partnering with other musicians to come in and they can add their parts, or if they're looking to add extra choruses or whatnot, they can come in and we'll work those songs out together. And there's sync licensing soundtrack stuff there as well. And it's, I would say, like, my personal style is very gypsy feeling. I have the Irish and Scandinavian blood, so a lot of those tones, if you're attracted to that, that's my personal brand, my sound. Hence, I love playing the violin and the viola because I'll make her sound more gypsy sounding. So, and then rock and roll, I'm over here at the Wildlands, and we do rock and roll and Americana, and so the wildlandsband.com. You can check us out there. We're writing songs all the time, and so you guys got to check out our YouTube and our Instagram, the Wildlands Band, and the Wildlands Band Music, and check those things out because you'll hear a lot of the influences of me there. And I do a little partner stuff here and there with different people, so yeah, check it out.
Cool, thank you.
Oh, and photography, yeah, it's the Mamone's Photography. If you guys need band photos or whatnot, that's some of the things we specialize in, so yeah.
Cool, thank you, Emily. Well, do you have gigs soon?
Yes, this Saturday, what is the date? March 11th, so it is, what is today, Wednesday? The 14th? Thank you. Glitch. This Saturday, March 14th, we have a gig up at the Dive. But by the time this airs, right?
A week after.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have anything on the books right now. We have a couple that are pending. So we just came off of a big run of gigs. So Brian will be at Opening Bell Coffee doing a gig at the end of the month. But we're kind of taking a little break to get some writing and stuff done. And then we're going to perform again. So stay tuned. Check out our website and whatnot, and we'll have our performances posted there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Emily, thank you so much. Well, Emily, thank you so much for your time. I have some issues about the last interview, but it's amazing to talk with you, all of you guys.
Thank you,
are
Julio.
awesome. You are awesome people.
You too, friend.
Oh,
Good
thank
energy.
you. Thank you so much. Yeah, your energy, your passion, the advices you have, and the way you took the time for do the interviews I did with Dan too. And I'm really excited because this is the episode number 20. The dream is growing up
Yeah.
right now, and it's really special. The episode number 20, it's a female, my first female,
Yeah.
my first bass player.
Yay!
And yeah, I want to say thank you for the subscribers, for all the guests. You guys are awesome.
Julio, you're amazing.
Oh,
Guitar
thank-
Memories is amazing. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. And well, I hope to see you soon.
Yes.
Maybe on Saturday I see you guys on the stage. I will try my best to go there and spend time with you guys. And well, thank you, Emily.
Thank you. It was really fun.
Well, guys, thank you so much to being here. Remember to subscribe, leave the comment, follow these guys, the Wildlands. I'm Julio Diaz.
Emily Mamone.
And keep playing. Bye.